Aloha everyone, what's really good my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape discussion video. For this video I want to talk about Mod Warden, what has happened in RuneScape in 2020, and how we feel about that going forward in 2021. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video, let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, to be clear, this is not a news coverage video. This is just a discussion video where we can just talk about RuneScape. I've done a couple of these in the past, a couple of months ago, and they seem to do pretty well, so I want to continue doing them. And since there's probably not going to be any news coming for the rest of the year, there's probably not going to be any news coverage, so I'm probably going to be doing a couple of these discussion videos, at least so you guys have something to be entertained with in the meantime, since there is no more game updates for the rest of the year and presumably no news. If there is news, I'll definitely cover it obviously here on the channel, but that's not likely at all, so this is why I'm pretty much opting to do this. So as I said in the beginning, in the intro of the video, I want to talk about Mod Warden because it was the topic of my first discussion video a couple months back. And I had asked you at that point, did you have any trust in Mod Warden based on what has gone on so far, at least at the time? And I also asked if what he had promised for the rest of 2020 were to come, will he have then earned your trust if he hadn't already? And I kind of want to echo those now that it's been a year that he's really been here and we've actually gotten to see whether or not the things that he said was going to come into the game have come into the game, which yes they have. Everything that he said was meant to come, and when it was meant to come has come on time. So I do want to know, has he earned your trust at this point, or are you still skeptical going into 2021 that he's not going to deliver? And if you are somebody who still is skeptical about Mod Warden and the release schedule of 2021, I'd like to ask why. Not only that, I'd like to ask, what would it take for Jagex to actually earn your trust once again? Will it take an entire year of consistent updates? Less than that? Whatever it is, love to hear down in the comments below. So yeah, since that discussion video a couple months ago, we've had the release of the Orphan dig site, the Halloween event, the construction contracts updates, the new boss Raksha, and the Christmas event Violet is Blue 2. All content that Mod Warden has said was going to come out when it was going to come out, and did. So I've already voiced my opinion pretty much about this in the previous video, but I do have faith in him. He does seem like somebody who's getting things done, and I do appreciate the work that he's put in to help turn around the hole that Jagex has been into, because for many years they have just been talking about updates that haven't even left like the brainstorming floor or are mere discussions in the office, and they would say these things at things like RuneFest, some of the biggest reveal parts of the year, and get people thinking that these are actually content updates that we can expect to see. How many times have we had that year after year? And that has built up a lot of distrust. That's all stuff that he had to come into and inherit, and has to change and do a complete 180, and it's no easy task. After years and years of disappointments, you can imagine the type of work he has cut out for him. I know it's something I personally wouldn't have to have tackled or try to attempt to fix, but he is doing one thing that is very good and is helping prevent anything like this from going forward, and that is simply keeping his mouth shut. Mod Warden only comes on every couple of months on a live stream or a news post or whatever, and only talks about stuff that's right around the corner. He never talks about things that are in the future, like further down the line, only within a couple of months, because he has actually stuff to back it up. And if they stick to that kind of thing, will completely avoid the mistakes that they've been making for many years now. And that's why, for me, it's kind of hard for me not to have trust in him, because he is doing that, and it's evident that he's doing that. And we are going to see him actually in the beginning, or in the middle of January actually, on a LEEDS QA. There actually was supposed to be a LEEDS QA this month earlier. However, someone was sick and wasn't able to attend, and it was meant to, answer some of the community questions, and was actually meant to come out prior to the Mod Warden newsletter, so we wouldn't have known all of the 2021 stuff that I covered in my most previous video. So it would have just been a bunch of, answering community questions. But since they are doing it mid-January after that newsletter, they are going to talk about those things that were shared in the newsletter. So we may get more information about things like Elder God Wars Dungeon, the direction they're taking with that, and the player avatar rework. May or may not go into major detail on it, but if there's enough to warrant a video, I'll definitely talk about it. I'll probably still talk about it either way because there's probably a lot of other good stuff with the QA that will be talked about and worth bringing to the forefront, at least here on my channel. So do stay tuned for that mid-January. And yeah, maybe we'll get greater hints as to when some of these updates might be coming out. And speaking of those updates, we can kind of get an idea of what 2021 is going to look like already based on the little information we have. So at some point, we're probably going to get that avatar rework unless it becomes a large update and has to get pushed to 2022, but probably going to get it. Elder God Wars Dungeons definitely coming out, but it's not just going to be a new boss PVM update. They're looking to shape the entire storyline around this. So it's very, very likely we're going to get multiple quests throughout the year regarding Elder Gods, potentially new skilling content, maybe new archaeology stuff that'll delve into some of the lore with Elder Gods, those kinds of things. Maybe some mini quests or events or any number of things, but we do know that Elder God Wars is not just a PVM update, it's encompassing a year worth of content. So that'll give you a ballpark of the kinds of things we can expect next year. Not only that, in terms of events, we got the 20-year anniversary that starts off at the beginning of the year, the 4th of January. It's a month-long event, but there are sprinkling 20-year anniversary things, types of little trinkles of updates throughout the year as well. And that might not be particularly as exciting because they're not technically content updates and they tend to be, temporary, but it is still something cool to look forward to, nevertheless. And then aside from that, I'm pretty certain that we're going to get the pet update, which is like the area pet, the money-making pet, the one that we voted on that was player created in terms of, the concepts for them. That is actually probably going to come out in 2021, most likely. I can't see it being any later than that. And it is meant to come with improvements to the pet system as well. So it is likely that we will have some of the current pets that are just like inventory or item pets moved over to the pet interface, which is something that a lot of people would want and have wanted for a long time. So that's likely to come. Although to what extent, I'm not sure. That's merely speculation on my part, but they did say that they do want to do that as part of this achievement pet update. Aside from that, I don't know, just merely speculation. We could get some 120s, increasing some of the current skills, or maybe just simply overhauls of certain parts of skills or additions to skills, because I definitely can't see them not doing a skill update in 2021. And regardless, no matter what happens next year, I'm definitely expecting it to be at least on the same level of 2020 in terms of content, but way more likely that it'll be even more considering they had to deal with COVID and they have been dealing with it for a while now. So they kind of got a rhythm of working from home, and maybe at some point in the later half of the year, they're going to return to the office and their capabilities and capacity to work will be even further increased, seeing as they can work in close proximity with their coworkers and be able to bounce ideas, and productivity overall will just be at an all-time high, especially considering they had a whole bunch of new hires recently. So as I said, at the very least 2021 will be on par with 2020, but I definitely see it being much more. Let me know what you guys think about anything we discussed in this video. Mod Warden, has he earned your trust? Those things. What do you think about 2021? Are you excited for the future, or are you still skeptical? Anything down in the comments. Love to be part of the discussion. I'm going to wrap the video there. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I'm out. Aloha.